Hey everyone, welcome to this bonus episode of Matt's Garage. Now I'm supposed to be resting my elbow, but I need the TJ to be reliable, and right now I'm having an issue. It's a pretty common issue. While I'm driving, the check gauges light will come on, and then the voltmeter will peg to 19, and then it'll drop back. Obviously you don't want to be overcharging your system like that. It could be one of three things. Loose grounds or battery cables, a bad computer, which has a voltage regulator built in, or an alternator. Now this has 372,000 miles on it roughly, so, and the alternator's never been changed. I checked with my dad. Amazing, right? American made. And I'm going to replace the alternator and check the cables, and then hopefully that solves the problem, because I really don't want to change out the computer. So let's get into it. Looking at the right side of the engine, first loosen this tensioner quite a bit and come down, put a 15 millimeter, they're both 15 millimeter socket or breaker bar down on this idler pulley and loosen it. That should give you some slack in the belt. That's the new alternator unit from O'Reilly's, remanufactured, and now I'm going to go in on the Jeep and pull the two bolts that are holding that in. I can't really film it, but you get the idea. Just a little tip, these little thumb screws from Harbor Freight, they're good for these hard to reach places. Once you get it loosened up, it's a lot easier to just get in there and wrench on it. Try not to use my bad hand here. And of course, I've never done this before, so I just made my first mistake, which is there's actually a nut on the back of these. So you gotta get a socket on both sides, or at least a wrench to hold it down. Stupid K&N filter with your 1 mile to the gallon added. I did notice about a 1 mile to the gallon difference, by the way, with that filter, so highly recommend. I really don't want to start taking stuff apart, but it looks like I'm going to have to pull my airbox off to get this thing out, which I didn't want to do. Doggone it! Alright, well, the alternator did look pretty torn up. Now I'm going to get this new one just laid down here and then hook up all the connections before I bolt it back into place. Actually, before I put these back on, I'm just going to hit the terminal ends with some sandpaper. You can see the alternator just sort of laying there while I tighten up the little connections here. Alright. Yeah, so it's not like the hardest job in the world. It's just a little tight because it's a Jeep. It's not the Bronco or the Scout. And it's a tiny bit annoying just because you got to take other stuff off. I mean, with the Scout, you can literally get the alternator out from any angle. Front, back, up, top, bottom, it doesn't matter. On that bolt, this goes in here. Get it hung. That's hung. Why is it? Don't get impatient, guys. It just goes slow to go fast. That's what an old timer once told me. It made no sense at the time, but I get it now. Go slow to go fast. Okay. There you go. Okay. Time to put the belt back on. Tip, when you're rerouting your timing belt, your belt, there's a little nut that sticks out between the alternator and the water pump pulley, and if your belt gets caught on that, you'll be like loosening the tensioner forever, and it'll never get tight. It'll never get loose enough, and you'll be like, what is going on? And what is going on there is that the belt is being stretched by that bolt. So you just make sure you loop it over, and then it'll be no problem. Remember to plug everything back in. Everything looks good. Belts are tight. Alternator's hooked up. Let me clean my tools up and see if she starts. Well, she starts up pretty good, and she felt a little peppy. I don't know, maybe this like 90 amp or just the fact that it's a new alternator puts more power to the spark plugs. I have to think about that. Don't make fun of me. I have to think about it. Hey, if you guys like the channel, please like and subscribe. Maybe share it with your friends. Post it on Facebook. I'm not trying to make a living off of it, but you know, getting it shared sort of keeps me motivated. And you know, I don't hardly make any money off of this, so it's really just for fun. And thanks for watching. That's it for Matt's Garage. Hopefully I get to rest my elbow for a while and take it easy until season 2 starts. See you later.